Hi, everyone, and welcome to Three Things with Lisi. I am Kristen Brophy, the Director of Client Strategy at Lisi, and I am joined today by our social media and marketing manager, Lauren Forbes. Hi, Lauren. How
Hello,
you doing?
hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm really excited to chat today about hashtag winning on social media. And I know you're laughing at me because I do the hashtag thing that Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake do, but
Yes.
I can't help but think of our favorite rock star from Mars, Charlie Sheen. Every single time I hear hashtag winning, do you remember that viral video?
Oh, I do. Who could forget that?
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago, I think that happened at this
Y-
point, and I'm still
I
talking
think
about
so
it.
too. Yeah, I know. It's never gonna die for sure.
No, not at all. And he definitely won social media hashtag winning because he, has tiger blood, yo.
He
Anyway.
does. Too funny.
Anyway, I know. I see these live streams are always just a ball of fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and I hope that you don't either on this lovely Friday. Anyway, so let's talk about three things. So, first thing I want to talk about is trending topics. So, Lauren, how do you use trending topics for succeeding on social media?
Yeah, so trending topics is a great way to develop content for your social media. Whether it's, national days or awareness days, holidays, these are great starting points to build a calendar. And today just so happens to be National Grammar Day. And coming up is also International Women's Day, March 8th. So there are two ones right off the bat that you can use in your social media content to build, either images, reels, posts. Not everybody has to be on board using these things, but it's a great starting point when you want to, um, you know, use them for any particular platform.
Right. So using them for any social media platform like
Hmm.
Facebook or LinkedIn, Instagram, they all
Right.
have, trending hashtag holidays and stuff.
Hmm. For sure. Yeah, and don't forget the hashtag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
don't
don't forget.
don't forget the hashtag. And it's more important because people actually search the hashtags. So if they're searching for it and you use it, yours will show up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, with International Women's Day coming up, that's one of those, national holidays or hashtag holidays, social media holidays that I think every company can easily get into.
Oh,
I know,
absolutely.
there are some world events happening, now
Hmm.
that maybe you don't want to post about on social media, just you don't want to seem tone deaf, I guess,
Right.
is the best way to describe that.
Yeah. I mean, there's, for example, HubSpot has a really great calendar for social media holidays per se that you can implement right into your own calendar. So you don't even have to go and search for it. It'll show up every day with what is that, national day that you could use, kind of just as inspiration. You don't have to use it, but it's again a great way to use it if you don't have content for that day or upcoming content.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think this kind of flows into the our second thing that we learned about doing, scheduling out your social media posts and
Oh yeah.
preparing ahead of time. And I
Hmm.
love that HubSpot tool. So what it is it's a Google Calendar that you can either subscribe to or integrate into your Apple Calendar, your Google Calendar, or whichever calendar app you're using. It's a
Hmm.
live RSS feed link. So you can actually see on the day of, like today is National Pizza Day or whatever
Right.
hashtag holiday it might be. And they're the big ones that
Hmm.
are coming up. So, as I said, brings me to my next point. And I don't know if anyone else just heard that, but my Google just spoke to me in the background. So I hope that didn't come through because I'm talking about Google Calendar. But my Google just is just like, oh, you need to talk to me at all times. Anyway, um, I always say proper preparation prevents poor performance because who doesn't love an alliteration?
It's a good one.
And right, I like that one. It
So
just
good.
kind of keeps you in mind and
Yep.
or keeps things top of mind when you're preparing things. And I know when I was working with a personal trainer, he would always say like a failure to plan is a plan to fail. So if you're not planning your workouts or your meals or whatever, same thing with social media, same thing with your content. And
Yes,
I know we use a content calendar, or you do, Lauren,
we do.
here at
Yes.
Lisa. Yeah. So
So, and actually, for those that want to use what we use on a daily basis, you can go to our website and find it in the news section or checklist section and download it and use it yourself. It already has all the holidays populated, and you can go in and it's by month and day and go in and start adding and plotting out all of your content. The more that you do it, the easier it gets. You're not, thinking off your feet like, oh no, I have to add something to LinkedIn today. Everything is already plotted out for you. Like Kristen said, HubSpot is a great tool to use. I know there's a couple other ones that you can go in and actually post it there and schedule it to send for you on particular days. We use HubSpot, and that has been a time saver for us. I know. I'm trying to think. What are the is it Banter? That's another one, or Buffer? What's
Buffer.
Buffer?
Buffer's
Yes,
one. There's also Hootsuite.
right.
Clearview Social is another scheduler. And I literally just learned this last month. You can schedule your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories and all of your anything to do with your meta business verse or metaverse business pages. I don't know the
Mm-hmm.
proper terminology for this yet because Meta is still brand new.
It is brand
But
new. Yes.
Meta is the overarching company for Facebook, Instagram, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
other things. But you can actually use your Meta business account, your Meta business suite, to schedule out your Instagram stories, which Instagram has a tight leash on scheduling things,
You
and you
do.
can't actually schedule things in a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
HubSpot or Hootsuite or anything like that. But you can do this in the Meta business suite, right through your Facebook account, right through your company's Facebook page.
Yeah.
So
It saves.
definitely think of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It saves time having to do it right from your phone.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that's another thing that's nice, you can do it right from your phone, whereas a
That's
lot
true.
of things you can't do from your phone. Social
That
media
is.
is one of those things. Do it on the fly if you have to.
Yeah, especially for Instagram for like stories and reels. Um, they're definitely more on the fly. So it's a great tool to have to use.
Absolutely. And then, another thing that I learned about social media is, or something that we all know this, it's not that we learned, but it's a third thing to start winning at social media is to, have that branded hashtag. And thinking on the fly or moving on the fly is what got me thinking of this is, live tweeting. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
events and conferences and specific speaking engagements or whatever
Yeah.
organizations will have their own hashtags that you can use. And
Yep.
exactly, right? And you can
Yeah.
like one I'm thinking of right now is Legal Marketing Association. Their annual conference is coming up in a few
Mm-hmm.
weeks and they have a hashtag.
Yeah.
And so hashtag LMA22. Any tweeting you're doing, live tweeting, use that hashtag and you have the chance to get your tweet retweeted by LMA. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing for attorneys. If you are at a speaking engagement or a conference or something like that, use that event hashtag and really cater that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I completely agree with that.
Right? And I could definitely teach an entire hour-long course on hashtags. So in addition
That's
to
an
that,
idea for a future.
I know,
Just
not an
saying.
idea. Let us know in the comments if you would like to see in a program learning all about hashtags and hashtag strategy.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you are using hashtags as part of your brand strategy, maybe think of a custom hashtag. So third thing
Mm-hmm.
that I was, thinking of for winning on social media is branding. Make it your
Mm-hmm.
own. Are
Absolutely.
you using that custom hashtag? Are you, making sure the message aligns with your brand?
Mm-hmm. I think that even goes as far as when you create assets like images, make sure your logo's on it. If you have some type of theme, I would try and carry that out through different assets, whether it's, different versions for LinkedIn, different versions for Facebook, but kind of make it all similar, if you will, so that when somebody looks at your page or just in general within, the feed, they could be like, oh, they're so-and-so's, and it's automatically recognized.
Yeah, so it's, like for Lisi stuff, we have our brand colors, our
Correct.
brand, our identity, our brand messaging, everything looks the same. So if you
Right.
go to the grid on Instagram, as they call it, or our feed or our timeline, whatever the name is for it nowadays on whichever platform you are on, you can see like it is one clear, consistent effort
Yep.
of messaging.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's really important that it either has the same tone, the same message, the same, variety of colors. That way there's no mistake that is you or your firm.
Yeah, absolutely. And with messaging, so I always say, like, don't jump on the bandwagon just because one firm is doing it doesn't mean your firm should do it.
Right.
Just because one lawyer at your firm is doing it doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. So when you're making it yours, make sure it's part of your brand. If you are not the lawyer who's going to dance on TikTok, then don't be the lawyer who's going to dance on TikTok. But on the flip side, if you are the lawyer who's going to dance on TikTok, add me because I want to follow that. Because yay.
And me too.
Exactly. Alrighty. Do you have anything else that you learned about content or, ways to win on social media?
Yeah, I think there's one that we might have just skipped over. I would say snackable content. I know that you have talked about this before in some of our other live streams. But I just doing kind of research on my own, I realized that it only takes 8 seconds for somebody or for somebody's attention span. 8 seconds. Think about that. And that's down from 12 seconds from last year.
Oh
so
God.
Like, what can you actually read and take in 8 seconds? So you want to be able to summarize third-party articles. I would say any blog posts, anything that you think should be out there for your audience. Create something that people will want to read, and then give them, food for thought. What will they take away from that? In most cases, some people, don't click on the actual article to read it. So if you're reading it and then you provide them with some, a little bit of information that they can take away from it, I think that's very valuable.
Right. So snackable is something that's easy to digest and that is food for thought.
Yes. Did you get that?
I did get that. That was clever, Lauren. Very clever. I like it.
I try.
All righty. Well, those are our 3 things. I guess in summary, the 3 things for winning, #winning, going back to Charlie Sheen, on social media is to use trending topics to fill out your content gaps and, jump on those hashtag holidays if it makes sense for you. Schedule ahead of time, plan ahead. A failure to plan is a plan to fail, as they say in personal trading. And then brand it and make it your own.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I am so excited to see you all again soon for our next live stream. And I will be chatting about, what am I chatting about this month?
I think
choosing the right platform.
Oh, great. Yes.
There we go.
There we go. You're right.
Choosing the right social media platform for you or your business.
You don't want to miss it.
Nope. Thanks.